Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Well, today I've got 3 Dogman encounters, but recently I've been noticing that people like to call them different things. There's Dogman, there's Wolfman, Werewolf, and etc. So today we're just going to title this video Modern Day Lycanthrope. 3 encounters. Before we get into these encounters, a couple links I'd like to share. I rely on my Patreon, PayPal, and merch to help this channel continue to grow and go. Those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fan fiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that do not fit on this channel. So if that's anything that you're into, follow that link below and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. And with that, guys, I've taken definitely enough of your time up. Let's get on with these 3 modern-day lycanthrope encounters. Shall we? Today's first encounter. I live in a small border town along the tip of South Texas. About a week ago, my brother told me he saw something that has been making him question his sanity ever since. He's the type of guy who will get up in the middle of the night and check outside the house to see if everything's all right. Some of the neighbors have had some of their property stolen, so he likes to make sure all is good. According to him, it was around 3:15 a.m. and he heard a chorus of dogs barking loudly and aggressively down the alley behind our house. So he gets up, walks down the hall, and stares out the back door window while facing south. After gazing out the window for about 5 minutes, he swears he saw what he can only describe as a combination of a humanoid-type figure with the head of a wolf dart down the alley in a flash. He describes being able to see its ribs protruding through its skin. As it ran, he said it looked like it was bending over with its palms flat on the ground, kind of a way a person would if they're touching their toes when they stretch. He added that it didn't really look too hairy, but appeared to have human skin, all while possessing a translucent white smoke color around it. Even as it was haunched over, he said it was about 5 and 5.5 feet tall. The following day, he told my parents about it, and they happened to mention it to one of the neighbors. Turns out a few days before my brother's sighting, their boxer had been stolen from their backyard. Instead of thinking my parents and my brother were a bunch of kooks, the lady neighbor, who we found out was Native American, told my mother that it could have been a skinwalker and that it was probably looking for her stolen dog. She also mentioned that whomever stole the dog was probably cursed by now. Our second Dogman encounter. There were 2 witnesses, a man and his uncle, who were hunting for garnet near Watts Valley Cemetery when a wolf ape came out of the bushes. The creature was described as 6 foot tall, long, gray-haired, mangy dog with a face like a baboon whose eyes were flat on its face like a human's. It opened its mouth, but only a moan escaped its widening maw, and then it made a strange sound like a cough. Both witnesses began to run from the creature as it began to chase them. The man threw its lunch at the creature, but this only stopped him momentarily. It continued to stalk them over the hills, and the 2 witnesses hopped over fences and ran through pastures, trying to escape the creature. Cows fled as it chased the 2 men. Finally, they found themselves in Watts Valley Cemetery and hid behind some tombstones, hoping to lose the beast. Unfortunately, it caught their scent and started to come towards them when, in a moment of genius, the uncle threw some cinnamon-flavored chewing gum near the beast, hoping the scent would distract it. It worked, and the beast was momentarily occupied. Soon after, the caretaker for the small cemetery ride offered to give the 2 men a ride back to their car several miles away. All three watched the strange creature for a few more moments in the safety of the caretaker's truck before it went away. Tonight's third and final Dogman encounter. We live in Natick, Mass. There's a wooded area with a portion of it containing an old abandoned fenced-off factory that is relatively near some apartment buildings. Some of my friends who live at the apartment complex went about a half a mile into the wooded area for camping. Their names will be omitted. Now, before I go any further, I must say that the area has experienced very weird sounds, although in my opinion they are very un-wolf-like. They sound like a woman screaming, crossed with long dog barks. A very indescribable and terrible sound. They come from various directions, though usually from the apartment area. Much of the camping trip went normally for them, however. At about dusk, they noticed the cry from far off in the distance. They set up their tent and lights, etc., and got into their tents. One had to get up in the midst of the night to use the portable toilet, but when she went outside, she got an overpowering sensation of being watched. She returned inside and roused her boyfriend to come out with her. When they got out, he felt the sensation, but at the same time, he didn't comfort her. She went to the bathroom, and as she was going, her boyfriend swears he saw, walking away from the campsite through the brush to the right of a tree, a large 6.5, 7 foot man-shaped figure, covered with grayish fur, sporting wolf-like features and a bushy tail swaying behind it. He was shocked and ran into the tent, leaving his girlfriend, who came running in a moment later, after hearing the rustling from the creature. Throughout the night, they and the others who awoke during the commotion stayed awake, continuously thinking they heard the cry in the distance. They never encountered it again, but left promptly in the morning. Well, there you have it. 3 modern-day Lycanthrope. Like I said, they go by Dogman, Werewolf, Wolf-Ape, Wolf-Man, and a lot of times people get them confused with Skinwalkers. So, really, what are they? Well, my only thing is, they're scary, and they're very interesting. I am fascinated by every detailed account that I come across, and I hope you guys are as well. I want to thank everybody for your support, and tomorrow I've got some more stories for you. And with that, guys, I bid you farewell.